Hey guys, Big John here. So yeah guys, some of you know that I recently purchased a new, well not new, used vehicle. I want to give you guys some tips and tricks to buying a used vehicle. For whatever reason, you know, sometimes it's not feasible to buy brand new, you know. There's a lot of factors to take in. Your weekly or monthly budget is what you really got to break it down to. So yeah, anyways, I mean, that could go on and on forever, but what I'm going to talk to you guys about is what to know when you're buying a used vehicle. So first thing you got to do, figure out your budget price, and then you can start looking. So whether you're looking on Kijiji or Craigslist, or you're going to lots, you'll have your budget to start with. So a lot of people go to lots because, you know, they offer the financing and everything right there. So that's good. A couple of things to keep in mind, guys, when you're buying a used vehicle. One of the downfalls to it is your financing rate's generally a little bit higher than you know, some of the new vehicles. Like you could get 0% on certain vehicles for financing. So that's something you got to think about too. But for me, it made sense to buy a used vehicle. So first thing you do is, you know, drive around, figure out what you want to get. Once you see something that you like, first thing you got to do is, before you take a test drive or anything, is you want to hear that car on a cold start. So the first thing you can do is walk over to the vehicle, touch the muffler, you know, get underneath the vehicle, touch it, make sure it's not warm. Pop the hood, touch the engine block. That'll tell you whether it's hot or not. You want a cold start, because a cold start, you're going to hear all the noises, whether they're good or bad. Second thing, while you're under there touching that muffler, take a look at the undercarriage of the vehicle. You know, just because the appearance of a vehicle up top looks good, a lot of times you get underneath, it could be rusted out, and not only rusted out, but there could be some rigging done on the bottom. You know, what I mean by that is stuff that's not factory under there. Make sure the frame's not twisted or welded up. So once you've accomplished that, you could take it for a test drive. So actually, no, one more thing before you take for a test drive: pop the hood and take the oil cap off and look at the actual oil cap, and make sure there's no condensation on it. You know, even touch the oil on the dipstick and smell it. You know, make sure there's no antifreeze in the oil. Yeah, and just kind of give it a good once over under the hood. There you go. Now you're able to go take it for a test drive. When you first start up on that cold start, you want to listen for knocks, ticks, or anything that's out of the ordinary. Then take it for a test drive. Back before you negotiate or nothing. Walk away for a day, you know. Go home and check out the reviews on that exact truck, that exact model. See what it's worth, and then go look, define your search to that vehicle, and look at all the comparables. Once you have all the comparables in your hand, then you got ammunition. You know, you can go back to the dealer, and maybe that dealer's got the best price. You know, like in my case, it was. I mean, the closest vehicle I bought mine for $11,999. The closest one for that year, that kilometers, one was $14,999 to my $11,999. Same kilometers and everything. So it's just doing your due diligence, guys. Once you've achieved that, then you know, okay, it's time to go in, negotiate, if you can negotiate. Guys, everybody thinks that these used car lots, they make a ton of money. They don't. You know, like their markup, they might make, you know, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 off a vehicle. That's not a ton of money, you know. Like nobody's in business not to make money. Let's put it that way. If you can't get them down in price, maybe you could get some stuff thrown in. Like it's small stuff, but make sure you get that full tank of gas. Maybe you could get a free oil change at them, or an oil spray, or something. The next thing you want to do too before you purchase a vehicle, check the glove box. A lot of times in the glove boxes of these vehicles, you'll see a bunch of receipts and a bunch of stuff for any work that's been done on the vehicle. And you know, if it's a big stack of papers, that might not be a bad thing. You know, check it out. Maybe it's somebody who's just done their oil changes and saved all the receipts. You know, that's, yeah. So okay, and another thing too. Okay, guys, a lot of these lots, it wasn't the case in mine, but a lot of these lots, they'll buy rentals off rental companies, and they'll sell them. And a lot of people think, oh, that's a bad, terrible thing. I gotta disagree with that. I mean, if you buy a rental, you buy a vehicle that's a rental, you know that all your oil changes and all your maintenance on that vehicle has been done. Anything that goes wrong with those rentals, they're in the shop right away and they're repairing them. So the next thing you got to consider, guys, is your kilometers. So what I do, okay, let's say an 8-cylinder pickup truck. Chances are, if you take care of your vehicle, you should have no problem getting 400,000 kilometers. So let's say you find a vehicle. First you got to figure out how many kilometers do you put on your vehicle a year. In my case, it's 20,000. So 20,000 kilometers over the course of 5 years, which is the duration of my payments. I'm going to put 100,000 kilometers on this thing. So then I got to figure out where I'm at, you know, with the kilometers, and make sure that I'm going to get that 400,000, you know, out of it. You can be a little bit more conservative and go, you know, like if it's a car or something, 300,000, you know. The smaller motors, they don't hold up like the big motors, you know. I mean, you do your oil changes and stuff, they will. You got to make sure, that's key, man. Change the oil in your vehicle and check it. The next thing, you know, like when you buy your vehicle, a lot of times on closing, they'll try and sell you everything in the world. That's something you got to decide if you want extended warranties, or you can't buy a used vehicle and think that you're going to drive it off the lot and have a full warranty, because that's not the case unless you pay for it. So yeah, guys, that's tips and tricks, man. Cheers, guys. Love yous all. Be positive. Don't forget to subscribe. Love yous all. Cheers. Cheers.